When did 15 minutes change everything? The key is still warm in my hand when I hear Rachel's laugh echoing from my bedroom, the same laugh she's used to mock other people's relationship drama over countless wine nights. Except now it's mixed with Jake's voice, low and intimate in a way that makes my stomach drop to the hardwood floor of my own apartment. I should leave. Walk right back out that door, get in my Honda, and pretend the Delta flight from Chicago didn't land 2 hours early. Pretend I didn't decide to surprise my boyfriend of 3 years by skipping the client dinner I'd been dreading anyway. Pretend I can't hear my best friend since college giggling about how Sarah never comes home before 8 on Wednesdays. Instead, I set my work bag down with the careful silence of someone who's learned to move quietly around sleeping roommates, and I listen. She's so clueless, Rachel says, and there's a rustling that sounds like bedsheets, my bedsheets, the expensive bamboo ones I saved for 3 months to buy. Did you see her post yesterday? All those heart emojis about date night tomorrow. Tomorrow. My birthday dinner. The one Jake insisted on planning himself, swearing he wanted to make it special after I spent my 27th working through food poisoning. She thinks we're just friends, Jake responds, and his voice carries that smug tone he usually reserves for describing his quarterly sales numbers. It's actually kind of sad. My phone buzzes against my palm. A text from my mom, can't wait to celebrate tomorrow. 28 is going to be your year, sweetheart. The irony might be funny if I could feel anything other than this strange, crystalline clarity settling over me like snow. I check the time, 4:47 p.m. Jake texted me at 4:30 saying he was running errands and would be back by 5:15 to help me prep for tomorrow's dinner. Rachel posted an Instagram story 20 minutes ago about a last-minute work crisis that would keep her busy until evening. 15 minutes. Maybe 18 if Jake stops to grab his protein shake from my fridge on the way out. I can hear water running now, my shower, the one with the rainfall head that Jake complained was too fancy when I had it installed last year. They're both in there, washing off evidence of their betrayal with my expensive body wash, probably congratulating themselves on another successful Wednesday afternoon deception. My hands aren't shaking as I pull out my phone. They should be. I've seen enough movies to know that discovering your boyfriend cheating should involve tears, screaming, maybe throwing things. Instead, I feel like an accountant who's just found a discrepancy in the books. There's a problem here that needs to be solved, and I have exactly 15 minutes to solve it. The shower is still running. Jake's phone is on my kitchen counter, plugged into the charger he bought specifically for my apartment after his 3rd night in a row staying over. Rachel's is on the coffee table next to her work laptop, open to an email draft for her new boss at Morrison & Associates, the PR firm she's been trying to impress for exactly 3 weeks. Both phones, no passcodes. We've always been trusting like that. My finger hovers over Jake's screen as their laughter drifts from the bathroom. Tomorrow night, his parents are flying in from Nebraska for my birthday dinner, the same parents who still ask when we're getting married and whether I've been attending church regularly. 14 minutes now. I start typing. Jake's Instagram is already open to his camera roll, and I have to scroll past exactly 14 photos from our weekend trip to Lake Geneva before I find what I'm looking for, the ones Rachel has been sending him. My Rachel, with her carefully curated social media presence and her new job where she's been preaching about authentic brand values to clients who pay her $150 an hour. The timestamps tell the whole story. September 3rd, right after my promotion celebration dinner where she gave that toast about friendship that lasts forever. September 18th, the night she helped me pick out the dress for Jake's company party. October 2nd, last Tuesday, while I was in Chicago closing the Hartwell account and texting both of them about how homesick I was. I screenshot everything, then opened Jake's Facebook. His mom Patricia tagged him in a post this morning, can't wait to meet Sarah's parents tomorrow. Praying this is the year our families become one family. #blessed. 12 minutes. The water is still running, but I can hear Rachel's voice getting louder. She's probably giving Jake her analysis of some marketing campaign, the way she does when she's trying to sound impressive. She has no idea that her new boss, Margaret Morrison, is following both her personal and professional Instagram accounts as part of the company's social media compliance monitoring. Rachel mentioned it proudly last week, calling it a sign that she was being considered for the senior associate position. I switched to Rachel's laptop, still logged into her Morrison & Associates email account. The draft she was working on is a proposal for the Steinberg Family Foundation account, a conservative nonprofit that's been very vocal about traditional family values. The proposal is due tomorrow at 9 a.m., and it's her biggest potential client yet. But first, I need to handle the immediate problem of tomorrow night's dinner party. I open Jake's text thread with his father, scrolling up through weeks of messages about Nebraska corn prices and football scores until I find what I need. Richard Brennan believes social media is the devil's playground, but he checks his son's Facebook religiously because Patricia set it up for him. From Jake's Facebook account, I craft a post, can't keep this secret anymore. Life's too short. Sometimes you find love where you least expect it. I attach the photos, not the explicit ones. I'm not completely vindictive, but the ones that make it clear this isn't some random hookup. Rachel wearing my Northwestern sweatshirt in what's clearly my living room. Jake's hand on her thigh in my car, identifiable by the parking pass hanging from my rearview mirror. I tag Rachel, both sets of parents, and everyone coming to tomorrow's dinner party. 10 minutes. But I'm not finished. Rachel's Instagram story from an hour ago shows her at a challenging work session, except she's clearly in my apartment, sitting on my couch in the same clothes she's probably leaving in a pile on my bathroom floor right now. I screenshot it, then open her Morrison & Associates email. Margaret, I type, I need to be transparent about something that might affect my work with values-focused clients like Steinberg. The shower turns off. I hit send on Rachel's email, post Jake's Facebook update, and then do something that surprises even me. I screenshot my bank account, showing the $2,847 I've spent on groceries, dinners, and weekend trips for Jake over the past 3 months. Money I budgeted carefully from my marketing coordinator salary while he was saving for our future. 8 minutes left, but I can hear them getting out of the shower. Time for the final act. I'm about to close Rachel's laptop when I notice something that makes my blood freeze. An email thread titled Sarah's Birthday Surprise with Jake's name in the sender field, dated 3 weeks ago. My finger clicks before my brain can stop it. Rachel, we need to be more careful. Sarah's getting suspicious about Wednesday afternoons. Maybe we should cool it until after her birthday? Rachel's response, sent at 11:47 p.m. Jake, you're overthinking this. She's so wrapped up in that Hartwell account, she barely notices when I'm here. Besides, we've been planning this surprise party for months. If we act weird now, she'll definitely know something's up. Jake again, I just feel guilty sometimes. She bought those expensive sheets last week and kept talking about how she wanted everything to be perfect for when my parents visit. Guilty enough to stop? Rachel had written back. Because I'm not ready to give this up. You're not either, or you wouldn't have texted me at 2 a.m. last night while she was sleeping next to you. I have to grip the edge of my coffee table to keep from throwing the laptop across the room. The surprise party. Rachel has been planning my birthday surprise for 3 months, coordinating with Jake, messaging our entire friend group, even calling my parents to make sure they could drive down from Wisconsin. She's been planning my celebration while simultaneously planning my humiliation. 6 minutes now, and I can hear them talking in the bathroom, probably sharing my towels. I scroll further down the email thread and find the guest list Rachel sent to Jake last week. 23 people. My college roommate flying in from Portland. My cousin driving up from Springfield. Jake's coworkers, including his boss who he's been trying to impress since the promotion window opened. All of them gathering at Marcello's tomorrow night at 7 p.m., the Italian place where Jake and I had our first date. The same restaurant where Rachel made a reservation for 2 under Jake's name at 9:30 p.m. tomorrow night. I know because she left the confirmation email open in another tab. They were planning to celebrate my birthday with everyone we know, then sneak off for their own private celebration while I was probably crying in my apartment, overwhelmed with gratitude for such thoughtful friends. My phone buzzes with a text from my college roommate Emma, landing at O'Hare at 6. Can't wait to see your face when you walk into Marcello's tomorrow. Rachel said you have no idea. 4 minutes. I open Jake's Venmo account and scroll through 3 months of transactions. $89 to Rachel on September 5th, wine and groceries face blowing a kiss $156 on September 20th, hotel weekend $67 yesterday, thanks for lunch, beautiful. Every payment happening while he was splitting dinners with me, letting me cover his portion because he was saving for something special. I'd assumed it was an engagement ring. Apparently, it was weekend getaways with my best friend. The bathroom door opens, and I hear Rachel's voice, your girlfriend has excellent water pressure. Soon to be ex-girlfriend, hopefully, Jake responds, and they both laugh. I take a photo of my laptop screen showing all their emails, add it to Jake's Facebook post as an update, and write, the whole story for everyone coming to tomorrow's surprise party at Marcello's at 7. Especially for mom and dad, this is what your future daughter-in-law has really been up to. 2 minutes. I grab my purse, leave their phones exactly where I found them, and walk to my front door. My hand is on the knob when I hear Jake call out, Ratch, did you hear something? Just the neighbors, she replies. Sarah won't be back for another hour. We have time for round 2. I step into the hallway and close the door quietly behind me. By now, the notifications should be starting. I'm sitting in my car in the parking garage beneath my apartment building, watching my phone light up like a Christmas tree. The notifications are coming in waves, Facebook comments, Instagram mentions, text messages from numbers I haven't heard from in months. The first response comes from Jake's mother Patricia at 5:03 p.m. Jacob Michael Brennan, you call me right now. Then Emma, my college roommate, Sarah what the actual F. By 5:07, Jake's boss has liked the Facebook post. By 5:09, Rachel's new colleague from Morrison and Associates has shared it to her own story with a wide-eyed emoji. I should feel victorious. Instead, I feel like I'm watching a controlled demolition from the inside of the building. My phone rings, Jake's number. I decline and immediately get a text, Sarah where are you? Someone hacked my Facebook. Another call, this time from Rachel. Decline. Her text follows seconds later, oh my god Sarah, someone sent crazy emails from my work account. I think we've been hacked. Are you okay? The parking garage is eerily quiet except for the sound of my phone buzzing against the leather seat. I turn it face down and count to 10, then flip it back over. 17 missed calls now. A text from my mom, honey, I'm seeing some very confusing posts online. Please call me. One from my dad, sweetheart, your mother is crying. What's going on? Margaret Morrison, Rachel's new boss, has apparently called an emergency meeting. I know because Rachel posted frantically to her Instagram story, dealing with a social media security breach. Anyone know a good IT person? But it's Jake's father's response that makes my stomach clench. A Facebook comment, posted publicly on his son's relationship reveal, Patricia and I raised you better than this, son. We'll be canceling our flight. Don't contact us until you're ready to be the man we thought you were. 43 people have liked Richard Brennan's comment. Including my own mother. My phone rings again. This time it's a number I don't recognize with a Chicago area code. Hello? I answer cautiously. Sarah Chan? This is Margaret Morrison from Morrison and Associates. I believe you know my employee Rachel Martinez? My mouth goes dry. Yes, we're friends. We're friends, I imagine. Ms. Martinez sent me some very interesting correspondence today, apparently confessing to an affair with your boyfriend. Along with photographic evidence. Margaret's voice is crisp, professional, and completely unforgiving. She also mentioned that this relationship might affect her work with our faith-based clients. I didn't, I start, then stop. Because technically, I did. I'm calling because a timestamp on her email suggests it was sent while she was supposed to be working on the Steinberg proposal. The same proposal that was due tomorrow and is now completely inadequate because she's apparently been lying about her availability for the past month. Through my windshield, I can see people walking to their cars, completely unaware that 3 lives are imploding 4 floors above them. Ms. Chen, are you still there? Yes, I'm here. I want you to know that Rachel's employment with our firm is being terminated effective immediately. Her behavior represents exactly the kind of values conflict we cannot afford with clients like Steinberg. Margaret pauses. I also want you to know that she spent our entire 3 o'clock meeting today talking about what a wonderful friend you are and how excited she was for your birthday party. The line goes quiet except for the sound of my own breathing. I thought you should know that, Margaret continues, because it makes what she did to you particularly disgusting. Good evening, Ms. Chen. She hangs up, leaving me staring at my reflection in the rearview mirror. I look exactly the same as I did an hour ago, but everything else has changed forever. My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. This is Emma. Jake gave me your number. I'm at O'Hare. What the hell is happening? I'm staring at Emma's text when my apartment building's fire alarm starts blaring. Through the concrete levels of parking garage, the sound is muffled but unmistakable, and it's coming from my floor. My hands are shaking now as I call Emma back. Sarah, thank God, she answers immediately. I'm in an Uber heading to your place. What? Don't go to my apartment, I interrupt. The fire alarm is going off. What fire alarm? Sarah, I just saw the most insane Facebook post from Jake, and Rachel's Instagram story makes no sense, and your mom called me crying about. Emma. My voice cuts through her panic. How long have you known? The silence stretches so long I check to see if the call dropped. Emma. Sarah, Her voice is barely a whisper. I suspected something at your housewarming party in August. The way they looked at each other when you were in the kitchen. But I told myself I was being paranoid. You've known for 3 months. The words feel like gravel in my throat. I didn't know. I suspected. There's a difference. Emma's voice is getting stronger, defensive. And I was flying out here to celebrate your birthday and figure out how to tell you without ruining everything. Through my car window, I can see fire trucks pulling into the street. 3 of them, lights flashing against the late afternoon sky. Too late, I say. The fire alarm stops as suddenly as it started, but the trucks are still arriving. A paramedic van pulls up behind them, and I feel something cold settle in my chest. Sarah, where are you right now? I'm about to answer when I see Jake stumble out of the building's main entrance. He's wearing jeans and no shirt, and he's talking frantically to a firefighter while gesturing up toward my floor. Rachel appears 30 seconds later in my Northwestern sweatshirt and what looks like Jake's boxer shorts. My phone starts buzzing with a call from my building's emergency management system. This is an automated message for residents of Maple Grove Apartments. A kitchen fire on the 4th floor has been contained. The building is safe to re-enter. 4th floor. My floor. Oh God, I whisper. Sarah, what's happening? I watch Jake pull out his phone, probably trying to call me again, while Rachel talks to a different firefighter. Even from 4 stories down and 50 yards away, I can see her gesturing wildly, her face flushed with panic. My phone buzzes with a text from my upstairs neighbor, Mrs. Chen. Are you okay? The firefighter said smoke was coming from your kitchen. Another text, this one from Jake. Sarah, your apartment almost burned down. Someone left something on the stove. Where are you? I think about this morning, rushing to make my 6 a.m. flight to Chicago. I think about the tea kettle I put on while I was gathering my laptop charger and work files. The same tea kettle that has an automatic shutoff that's been broken for 2 months. The same tea kettle I meant to replace after Jake complained about the high-pitched whistle it makes when the water evaporates completely. Sarah? Emma's voice sounds far away. I left a kettle on the stove, I say numbly. This morning. Before my flight. Okay, but you're safe, right? You're not in the building? I watch Jake throw his hands up in frustration while talking to a police officer who's just arrived. Rachel has her arms wrapped around herself, and she keeps looking up at my 4th floor windows. 3 of them are open now, probably from the firefighters clearing smoke. My beautiful bamboo sheets are probably ruined. My expensive body wash, wasted on their guilty shower, might have been the last time anyone uses my bathroom for months. Sarah? The universe has a sick sense of humor, I tell Emma. My insurance agent is going to want to know why I wasn't home when a kettle I left on the stove nearly burned down my kitchen. My landlord is going to want to know why there are 2 half-dressed people who aren't on the lease claiming they were checking on things when the fire department arrived. And Jake's conservative parents are going to want to know why their son is standing outside his girlfriend's fire-damaged apartment in broad daylight with her best friend who's wearing his underwear. I take a screenshot of Mrs. Chen's text about the kitchen fire and add it to Jake's Facebook post as another update. Plot twist, karma works faster than I expected. For everyone asking about tomorrow's party at Marcello's, it's cancelled. I'll be dealing with insurance adjusters instead of celebrating my 28th birthday. Thanks to Jake and Rachel for keeping my apartment warm while I was away. Fire. Within 30 seconds, Jake's mother Patricia comments, Jacob, you call me right now or I'm driving to Illinois myself. His father adds, son, your mother is packing the car. Emma is still talking, but I'm watching Rachel pull Jake aside near the paramedic van. She's crying now, real tears, not the performative ones she uses when she wants something. Jake keeps running his hands through his hair, a nervous tick I used to find endearing. They look like what they are, 2 people who thought they were so clever, and now they're standing in the wreckage of their own stupidity with nowhere to hide. Emma, I interrupt whatever she's been saying. Do you still have that couch in your new place in Portland? Of course, but I'm going to need somewhere to stay for a while. Sarah, you can't just run away to Portland, Emma says, but her voice lacks conviction. What about work? What about what? I watch Jake pace in frantic circles while Rachel sits on the curb with her head in her hands. My apartment smells like smoke and betrayal, my boyfriend's been screwing my best friend in my bed, and apparently half our friend group has been keeping secrets from me for months. A new notification pops up on my phone. Jake's cousin Marcus, the one studying to be a youth pastor, has shared Jake's Facebook post to his own timeline with the caption, praying for my cousin during this difficult time. Sometimes God uses our mistakes to show us who we really are. #grace, #forgiveness, #accountability. 47 people have liked Marcus's post in the past 3 minutes, including several members of Jake's church back in Nebraska. Oh, this keeps getting better, I mutter, screenshotting Marcus's post. What now? Jake's family is very religious, remember? His cousin just turned our drama into a Sunday school lesson. I scroll through the comments on Marcus's post. Mrs. Patterson from Jake's childhood church, I always wondered about that girl he was dating. A mother knows these things. Karen Fitzgerald, those Chicago values, what do you expect? My throat tightens. They're talking about me like I'm the problem. Like I'm somehow responsible for Jake's inability to keep his hands off my best friend. But then I see a comment that makes me sit up straighter. It's from Dave Morrison, Rachel's boss Margaret's husband, and apparently he follows Marcus on Facebook. Interesting. My wife just fired an employee today for this exact situation. Small world. Within minutes, the connection spreads. Someone tags Margaret Morrison herself, who doesn't comment but likes Dave's response. Then Jake's boss Kevin Chen, no relation, despite the shared last name, appears in the thread. Jake, we need to discuss this Monday morning. Our client handbook is very clear about social media conduct. I'm watching my revenge spiral beyond anything I planned when my phone rings with a call from my parents' home number. Hi, Mom. Sarah Elizabeth. Her voice has that particular tone she used when I came home past curfew in high school. Your father and I just spent an hour on the phone with Jake's parents, and now Patricia is sending me Facebook screenshots that make absolutely no sense. It makes perfect sense, actually. Jake's been cheating on me with Rachel. Silence. Then, honey, are you sure? Maybe there's been some kind of misunderstanding. I found them in my apartment, Mom. In my bed. They weren't discussing the weather. I hear my father's voice in the background. Give me the phone, Linda. Sarah? Dad's voice is gentler. Where are you right now? Sitting in my car, watching the fire department finish cleaning up the kitchen fire at my apartment. I lean back against the headrest. The kitchen fire caused by the tea kettle I left on the stove this morning because I was so excited to surprise my cheating boyfriend by coming home early. Jesus, Dad mutters, forgetting he doesn't swear in front of Mom anymore. Richard. Mom snaps, but then she's back on the phone. Sarah, we're driving down tonight. Pack a bag in. There is no bag to pack. My apartment reeks of smoke, and I'm pretty sure my clothes smell like Jake's cologne and Rachel's betrayal. Through the windshield, I watch a firefighter hand Rachel a bottle of water. She takes it with both hands, like she's the victim here. Jake is on his phone now, probably calling his parents, judging by the way he keeps looking up at the sky like he's praying for divine intervention. My phone buzzes with a text from my landlord, Gary. Sarah, I need you to call me ASAP. The insurance adjuster wants to speak with you about the kitchen damage. Also, why were there unauthorized occupants in your unit? Another buzz. This one's from my manager at work. Hey, saw some concerning posts online. Are you okay? Do you need to take some personal days next week? Mom, I say quietly, I think I broke my entire life in 15 minutes. Oh, sweetheart. Her voice cracks. Sometimes the life we think we want isn't the life we actually need. A police officer approaches Jake and Rachel, notepad in hand. Rachel stands up quickly, smoothing down my sweatshirt like she's trying to make herself presentable. Jake puts his arm around her shoulders, a protective gesture that sends a fresh wave of rage through my chest. Did you see that? I ask my parents. See what, honey? Nothing. Everything. I watch Jake's mouth move as he explains something to the officer, gesturing toward my building. I have to go. I'll call you later. Sarah, don't do anything. I hang up and dial my landlord. Gary? It's Sarah. We need to talk. 20 minutes later, I'm sitting in Gary's cramped office on the first floor of my building, staring at photos of my smoke-damaged kitchen while Jake and Rachel wait in the lobby. Gary insisted they stay for the insurance discussion since they were witnesses to the incident. Through the glass partition, I can see Rachel checking her phone every 30 seconds. Jake keeps running his hands through his hair and glancing toward Gary's office like he's planning an escape route. So let me understand this correctly, Gary says, adjusting his reading glasses. You left for Chicago yesterday morning, left a kettle on the stove, and these two were house-sitting? Something like that. I flipped through the photos the fire inspector took. My beautiful kitchen island is scorched black near the stove. The custom backsplash I spent 2 weekends installing last summer is cracked from the heat. How long until it's livable again? 6 to 8 weeks minimum. The smoke damage extends into the living room and bedroom. Gary taps his pen against the desk. Insurance will cover temporary housing, but we need to establish exactly what happened here. My phone buzzes with a text from Emma, landed. In an Uber to your building. Also, Rachel's Instagram story is completely unhinged. I pull up Rachel's Instagram. Her latest story, posted 12 minutes ago, when your life gets turned upside down by hackers and kitchen fires in the same day. Grateful for friends who support you through digital attacks. Some people will do anything for attention. Hashtag stay strong, hashtag truth wins, hashtag birthday drama. The audacity is breathtaking. She's actually trying to spin this as if she's the victim of some elaborate setup. But the comments on her story tell a different tale. Her college sorority sisters, her coworkers, even her yoga instructor are asking pointed questions. Wait, what happened? Is this about that Facebook post? Girl, maybe just stay offline for a while? Ms. Chen? Gary's voice pulls me back to the insurance paperwork. I need you to sign here acknowledging that the kettle was left unattended due to your travel schedule. I sign, but my mind is racing. Gary, about Jake and Rachel being here when the fire started. Yes, that's unusual. Your lease specifies that overnight guests need to be registered if they're staying more than 3 consecutive days. He flips through his folder. Jake Brennan has been on your guest registry since August, but Rachel Martinez isn't listed at all. Perfect. Another complication for their perfect little afternoon. They weren't supposed to be here, I say carefully. I had no idea anyone was in my apartment. Gary's eyebrows lift slightly. So they were there without your knowledge or permission? Through the glass, I see Jake's phone ring. He answers immediately, probably his parents calling back. His face goes white as he listens, then red, then white again. He says something sharp to Rachel, who looks up from her own phone with panic in her eyes. Ms. Chen? Sorry. Yes, they were there without permission. I hand back the signed forms. In fact, I'd like to file a formal complaint about unauthorized access to my unit. That changes things significantly for the insurance claim. Gary makes a note in his file. If they were there without permission, they could be liable for damages since they didn't respond appropriately to the fire alarm. My phone rings, Emma. I'm in your lobby, she says without preamble. And holy shit, Sarah. Jake just hung up on someone screaming about plane tickets and Patricia someone crying. Also, Rachel looks like she's about to vomit. I'm in the building manager's office. Give me 5 minutes. Take your time. I'm getting quite the show out here. Jake just told Rachel that his parents aren't coming for your birthday anymore, and she said something about her job being completely fucked because of your psychotic revenge plan. I almost smile. She said that in the lobby? Loudly. Mrs. Patterson from 3B asked if she needed medical attention. When I emerge from Gary's office 10 minutes later, the lobby has cleared except for Emma, who's standing near the mailboxes with her overnight bag, watching Jake and Rachel through the front windows. They're on the sidewalk now, having what looks like an increasingly heated argument. Emma. I haven't seen my college roommate in 8 months, but she looks exactly the same, short auburn hair, freckles, wearing a vintage band t-shirt and jeans that probably cost more than my rent. Sarah fucking Chin. She drops her bag and hugs me tightly. You absolutely destroyed them. I destroyed everything. Good. They deserved it. Emma pulls back and studies my face. Though you look like hell. My apartment smells like smoke, my boyfriend's been screwing my best friend, and I just made myself homeless out of spite. I lean against the mailboxes. How's Portland? Rainy and full of people who think they invented coffee. You'll love it. Emma glances toward the windows. So what's the plan now? Because those two look like they're about to either kill each other or come back in here to grovel. Through the glass, Rachel is gesticulating wildly while Jake stares at his phone. She grabs his arm and he shakes her off, then says something that makes her step backward like he slapped her. No groveling, I say. Rachel got fired, Jake's parents canceled their flight, and I just told my landlord they were trespassing in my apartment. Emma whistles low. Trespassing? Sarah, that's accurate. I never gave them permission to be there. I pick up her bag. Come on. I'm buying you dinner and you're going to help me figure out how to start over. As we head toward the door, Rachel spots us through the glass. Her eyes widen when she sees Emma, then narrow when she realizes what Emma's presence means, that I'm not falling apart, that I have backup, that her story about being the victim of digital attacks is about to get a lot harder to sell. She says something urgent to Jake, who looks up from his phone to see Emma and me walking toward them. For just a moment, all four of us are frozen in this tableau of destroyed relationships and uncertain futures. Then Jake takes a step toward me. Sarah, we need to talk. No, I say, not breaking stride. We really don't. Sarah, please. Jake blocks our path to Emma's waiting Uber, his voice taking on that pleading tone he uses when he wants me to cover dinner because his credit card is maxed out from Christmas shopping. This is all a huge misunderstanding. The misunderstanding, I say, stepping around him, is thinking I'm stupid enough to believe that. Rachel appears at his shoulder, mascara streaked down her cheeks, still wearing my Northwestern sweatshirt like a trophy. Sarah, someone hacked our phones. Posted those pictures without permission. We were just fucking in my bed while I was in Chicago? I turn to face her directly. Because that part seemed pretty intentional. Emma snorts. Oh, this is rich. Rachel, honey, I've seen your cybersecurity skills. You can barely figure out Netflix passwords. Emma, stay out of this, Rachel snaps, then immediately softens her voice. Look, Sarah, I know how this looks, but Jake and I were just talking about your surprise party, and things got emotional, and... Stop. My phone is buzzing incessantly in my pocket, but I ignore it. Just stop talking. You're making it worse. Jake pulls out his own phone, screen cracked, probably from dropping it when the fire alarm went off. My dad just texted. He wants me to drive home to Nebraska tonight. Tonight, Sarah. My mom is so upset she's not eating. Good for her. Maybe she'll lose the weight she's been complaining about since I met her. Jesus, Sarah. Jake's face flushes. This isn't like you. You're right. The old Sarah would have believed your bullshit excuse and spent the next 6 months wondering what she did wrong. I gesture toward my smoke-damaged building. But the old Sarah also wouldn't have left a kettle on the stove, so we're all learning new things today. Emma's Uber driver honks twice. She raises a finger in the universal 1 more minute gesture, clearly enjoying the show. My phone finally stops buzzing, then immediately starts again. I pull it out, 17 missed calls from my mom, 3 from my boss, and a string of texts from numbers I don't recognize. The latest one, from Jake's college roommate Marcus. Dude, my youth group is using your situation as a case study in moral decision-making. You might want to delete Facebook for a while. Oh, that's perfect. I show Jake the text. You're now a cautionary tale for teenagers in Nebraska. Rachel grabs my arm. Sarah, I lost my job because of what you did. Margaret Morrison called me a liability to client relationships and had security escort me out of the building. 3 weeks before my probation period ended. And I lost my best friend and my boyfriend because of what you did. In my own apartment. Using my expensive body wash. I shake off her grip. At least you got an orgasm out of it. Sarah. Jake looks genuinely shocked, like I'd violated some sacred boundary of polite conversation. What? We're being honest now, right? No more Wednesday afternoon lies about work emergencies and errands. I can feel something dangerous building in my chest, a reckless energy that makes me want to burn down whatever's left standing. Tell me, Jake, was she better than me? In my bed, with my sheets, in the apartment I pay for because you're saving for our future? Emma clears her throat. Okay, maybe we should. No, Emma. I want to know. I step closer to Jake, close enough to smell my own shampoo in his still damp hair. Because I've been thinking about this for the past hour, sitting in that parking garage, watching you two play the victims. I've been wondering what I did wrong, what I could have done differently, how I missed the signs. Jake won't meet my eyes. Sarah, it just happened. We didn't plan. September 3rd. The date comes out sharp and clear. Your first Venmo payment to her. $89 for wine and groceries with a kiss emoji. That was the night after my promotion dinner, Jake. I came home so happy, talking about maybe getting a bigger place, maybe finally taking that trip to Ireland we'd been planning. Rachel's face goes pale. You went through our... Your phones were unlocked on my kitchen counter. In my apartment. Where you were trespassing. I turned back to Jake. So tell me, when I was texting you from Chicago about being homesick, were you already planning yesterday's afternoon fuck session? Or was that spontaneous? The Uber driver honks again, longer this time. Emma touches my shoulder gently. Sarah, we should go. Before you say something you can't take back. But I'm already past that point, standing in the wreckage of my perfectly planned life with nothing left to lose and two people who thought they could play me for a fool. Actually, I tell Emma, not taking my eyes off Jake, I think they should know how this ends. My phone buzzes with an incoming call just as I'm about to deliver whatever devastating final blow my rage-addled brain was cooking up. The caller ID makes my blood freeze. Hartwell Industries, client emergency line. I have to take this, I tell Emma, stepping away from Jake and Rachel's pathetic tableau of guilt and desperation. Sarah Chan speaking. MS. Chan, this is David Hartwell. I apologize for calling so late, but we've encountered a significant problem with the campaign materials you delivered yesterday. My stomach drops. The Hartwell account, the client I've been courting for 8 months, the one that could make my career, the reason I was in Chicago in the first place. What kind of problem, Mr. Hartwell? Our compliance team ran a routine social media background check on all vendors before final approval. Your personal situation has created some concerns about your professional judgment. Through the phone, I can hear keyboard clicking. Someone is reading something. Mr. Hartwell, I can explain. Ms. Chen, you orchestrated a very public social media campaign against your personal associates using their private accounts and confidential information. From a cybersecurity perspective alone, this raises red flags about data handling protocols. Jake and Rachel are watching me now, sensing that something else is going wrong. Emma checks her phone, probably telling the Uber driver to wait longer. Sir, this was a personal matter that demonstrated sophisticated knowledge of digital manipulation and a concerning disregard for privacy boundaries, David Hartwell interrupts. The same skills we're hiring you to use for our brand could theoretically be used against us. My legs feel weak. Are you terminating our contract? The board met an hour ago. We've decided to go with Morrison and Associates instead. Morrison and Associates. Rachel's firm. The firm that just fired her for the exact same situation. Mr. Hartwell, Rachel Martinez was terminated from Morrison today. She's not even. We're aware of Ms. Martinez's departure. Her replacement, Jennifer Walsh, reached out this afternoon with a very compelling counterproposal. She was quite sympathetic about the unfortunate circumstances that led to your current difficulties. I close my eyes. Jennifer Walsh, Rachel's ambitious colleague who's been waiting for exactly this kind of opportunity to steal accounts. We'll honor the kill fee specified in your contract, of course. $7,500 for completed preliminary work. David Hartwell's voice is maddeningly professional. Ms. Chen, you clearly have considerable talent. Perhaps in the future, you'll consider keeping your personal and professional lives more separate. The line goes dead. I stare at my phone for 30 seconds, watching my reflection in the black screen, before turning back to the group. Everything okay? Emma asks, but her expression says she already knows it's not. I just lost the Hartwell account. The words taste like ashes. Apparently, Mike's sophisticated knowledge of digital manipulation makes me a cybersecurity risk. Jake's eyebrows furrow. But that's ironic? Yeah. I laugh, but it comes out hollow. Rachel's old company got the contract. The same company that fired her 3 hours ago. Rachel's phone buzzes. She glances at it and her face goes white. Jennifer Walsh just texted me. She says thanks for clearing the path for her promotion to senior associate. The four of us stand there in the gathering dusk, each of us holding pieces of the life I demolished in 15 minutes. My apartment is uninhabitable, my relationship is destroyed, my best friendship is over, and now my career is in free fall, all because I couldn't walk away when I had the chance. Sarah, Jake says quietly, maybe we can fix this. Call Hartwell back, explain. Explain what? That I'm not actually a vindictive psychopath who violates people's privacy for sport. I shake my head. Too late. The damage is done. My phone buzzes with a text from my boss, Sarah, we need to talk first thing Monday. I've been getting calls. Emma's Uber driver rolls down his window. Ladies, I've got another pickup in 10 minutes. I look at my building, my ex-boyfriend, my former best friend, and my uncertain future. Right, I tell Emma. Let's go figure out what the hell I'm supposed to do now. The Uber ride to Emma's hotel near O'Hare is 43 minutes of uncomfortable silence broken only by my phone's relentless buzzing. By the time we pull up to the Hampton Inn, I have 67 unread messages and 12 voicemails. Emma pays the driver while I scroll through the digital carnage. My college friend Jessica, girl, what is happening on Facebook right now? My coworker Mike, Sarah, Richardson wants to see you Monday at 8 a.m. Bring documentation of all your client communications. My Aunt Carol in Phoenix, honey, your mother called crying. Are you having a nervous breakdown? But it's the email from my apartment insurance company that makes my hands shake. Ms. Chen, we need to discuss your claim. New information suggests potential negligence or intentional damage. Please contact our fraud investigation department immediately. Emma, I say as we walk through the hotel's automatic doors, I think I'm about to be investigated for insurance fraud. What? She stops mid-stride in the lobby, her voice echoing off the marble floors. I show her the email. Gary, my landlord, filed a report saying Jake and Rachel were in my apartment without permission when the fire started. Now the insurance company thinks I might have orchestrated the whole thing. Emma reads over my shoulder, her frown deepening. But you were in Chicago. You have flight records, hotel receipts. I also have a smoking gun in the form of a Facebook post where I literally said karma works faster than I expected about the kitchen fire. I slump into one of the lobby's oversized chairs. They're going to think I planned this entire revenge scheme, including burning down my own kitchen. My phone rings. Patricia Brennan, Jake's mother. Emma shakes her head violently, but I answer anyway. Hello, Mrs. Brennan. Sarah, dear. Patricia's voice is strained, like she's been crying. Richard and I have been praying about this situation all evening. That's nice of you. We want you to know that we don't blame you for Jacob's poor choices. A man is responsible for his own moral failures. She pauses, and I hear muffled conversation in the background. But honey, the way you've handled this publicly, it's concerning. I close my eyes. Mrs. Brennan. We've been watching the Facebook comments, dear. People from our church, from Jacob's high school, they're all seeing this family drama played out like some kind of soap opera. Her voice drops to a whisper. Pastor Williams called. The youth group parents are asking questions about Jacob's character, about the kind of girl he was planning to marry. The kind of girl who catches her boyfriend cheating, you mean? The kind of girl who broadcasts intimate family business to hundreds of strangers, dear. Patricia's Midwest politeness can't quite mask the steel underneath. We raised Jacob better than this, but we also expected different judgment from the woman he might marry. Might marry. Past tense now. Mrs. Brennan, I'm not sure what you want me to say. We want you to take down those posts, Sarah. Delete the photos, remove the comments about Richard's responses. Let our family handle our family business privately. She pauses. In return, we'll talk to Jacob about making this right financially. Your apartment damage, your lost work, we can help. Emma is making frantic gestures, but I can barely focus on her through the roar of blood in my ears. You want me to cover up what Jake did so your church friends don't gossip? We want you to show some Christian grace in how you handle your pain, dear. Christian grace. From the woman whose son was screwing around behind my back for 3 months. I'll think about it, I lie, and hang up. Emma stares at me. Please tell me you're not actually considering that. No, but I'm considering the financial help part. I show her my banking app, $2,847 in checking, another $3,200 in savings. Emma, I can't afford to be unemployed and homeless simultaneously. My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. This is Jennifer Walsh from Morrison and Associates. I'd like to discuss a potential consulting opportunity. Perhaps we can turn this unfortunate situation into something mutually beneficial. I screenshot Jennifer's text and show Emma. Rachel's replacement wants to hire me. The woman who just stole my biggest client wants to offer me a job. That's... Emma struggles for words. That's actually kind of brilliant. And completely twisted. Welcome to my life. I stand up from the lobby chair, decision crystallizing. Come on. We're going to your room, we're ordering room service, and we're going to figure out exactly how much my dignity is worth. 2 hours and 3 glasses of wine later, Emma and I are sitting on her hotel bed surrounded by takeout containers and my laptop, conducting what she calls damage assessment and strategic planning and what I call watching my life burn in real time. The numbers are worse than I thought. Okay, Emma says, scrolling through my phone's notification screen. Jake's Facebook post has been shared 247 times. Your college sorority group chat has 89 unread messages. And someone created a Reddit thread called Woman Exposes Cheating BF and Burns Down Her Own Kitchen that has 12,000 upvotes. There's a Reddit thread? I grab my phone and search for it. The title alone makes my stomach churn, but the comments are even worse. User Chef Mike 2019, fake. Nobody's that stupid with a tea kettle. User lawyer up _ delete Facebook. This woman just committed about 6 different crimes and documented all of them. User petty revenge _ queen, honestly? Respect. She went nuclear and took everyone down with her. Sarah, stop reading those. Emma closes my laptop. Reddit commenters are not your target audience right now. My phone buzzes with another call from an unknown number. I've stopped answering them, but this one leaves a voicemail immediately. I put it on speaker. Ms. Chen, this is Detective Rodriguez with the Chicago PD. We've received a complaint about potential harassment and cybercrime related to unauthorized access to social media accounts. Please call us back to schedule an interview. Emma and I stare at each other. They called the police, I whisper. Jake and Rachel actually called the police. On what grounds? You caught them cheating in your own apartment. My phone buzzes with a text from Jake. Sarah, I didn't want to do this, but Rachel's lawyer says what you did could be considered identity theft and defamation. We just want to resolve this quietly. Call me. Rachel's lawyer. Of course she has a lawyer already. Emma, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest. I set down my wine glass. How fucked am I? Legally speaking? Emma was pre-law before switching to graphic design, and she's always been brutally practical about consequences. Honestly? Posting from their accounts without permission is technically identity theft in Illinois. The photos might count as revenge porn depending on how explicit they were. And if the insurance company can prove you knew about the kettle. She trails off. I didn't know about the kettle. I genuinely forgot I left it on. But you posted about karma and the fire, which makes it look premeditated. Emma pulls up Illinois statute codes on her phone. Sarah, Jake's parents aren't wrong about taking the posts down. The longer they stay up, the more evidence there is of potential criminal intent. A new text comes in, this time from my dad. Sweetheart, a reporter from the Chicago Tribune just called our house asking about you. What's happening? A reporter? My voice cracks. How did a reporter get their number? Emma's phone buzzes. She glances at it and her face goes pale. Sarah, someone tagged me in a Twitter thread. About workplace harassment and social media vigilante justice. They're using your situation as an example of toxic cancel culture gone too far. I grab her phone. The Twitter thread has been retweeted 3,400 times. The original poster, someone with a verified blue check mark named at Digital Ethics Law, has written a detailed analysis of my case study complete with screenshots of Jake's Facebook posts and speculation about legal ramifications. This person doesn't even know me, I say, scrolling through responses. They're talking about me like I'm some kind of social media terrorist. Emma takes her phone back gently. Sarah, I think it's time to call a lawyer. A real one. With what money? I just lost my biggest client, I'm about to lose my job, and my insurance company thinks I committed fraud. I stand up and pace to the hotel window, looking out at the planes taking off from O'Hare. Maybe I should just disappear. Change my name, move to Portland with you, pretend none of this happened. You can't run from criminal charges. I can run from everything else. I turn back to Emma. What if Patricia Brennan is right? What if I delete everything, apologize publicly, take whatever job Jennifer Walsh is offering, and try to rebuild quietly? Emma studies my face for a long moment. Is that what you want to do? I want to go back to this morning and not get on that fucking plane. I slump against the window. But since that's not an option, I want to minimize how much more damage I do to myself. My phone rings again, this time it's my mom. Hi, Mom. Sarah, we just got off the phone with a very nice lawyer your father's friend recommended. His name is Marcus Weinstein, and he specializes in digital privacy cases. Mom's voice has that forced calm she uses during family emergencies. We're driving down tomorrow morning, and we have an appointment with him at 11. Mom, I can't afford a lawyer right now. Your father and I will handle the money, honey. Right now we need to focus on keeping you out of jail. Jail. My mother just said jail like it's a real possibility. Sarah, Dad's voice comes through on speaker. Marcus says the first thing you need to do is stop posting anything else online. Don't delete what's already there yet, that could look like destruction of evidence, but don't add anything new. I wasn't planning to. And honey? Mom interrupts. We love you. Whatever mistakes you made today, we'll figure it out together. After I hang up, Emma and I sit in silence for several minutes, the weight of keeping you out of jail settling between us like another person in the room. Finally, Emma speaks. So, room service and legal strategy until your parents arrive? Room service and figuring out how to explain to a lawyer that I accidentally became a cybercriminal because I couldn't handle my boyfriend screwing my best friend in my expensive sheets. Hey, Emma says gently. At least the sheets are probably ruined now anyway. Despite everything, I almost smile. My phone buzzes at 6:47 a.m. with a call from Marcus Weinstein, the lawyer my parents hired. I've been awake since 4 a.m. anyway, scrolling through the continued wreckage of my digital life while Emma sleeps in the hotel bed next to me. Ms. Chen, I've reviewed the materials your parents sent over. We need to meet before 11. His voice is crisp, professional, and deeply concerned. There have been some developments overnight. What kind of developments? Rachel Martinez filed a restraining order against you yesterday evening. She's claiming ongoing harassment and cyberstalking. I hear papers shuffling. The Cook County Sheriff's Office tried to serve you at your apartment last night, but obviously you weren't there due to the fire damage. My stomach drops. A restraining order? I haven't contacted her since you posted private photographs and personal information to her employer, according to the filing. Ms. Chen, this restraining order specifically prohibits you from posting about her on any social media platform. Marcus pauses. Which means every Facebook comment and Instagram story you've added since yesterday could be a violation. I think about Patricia Brennan's late-night comments on Jake's posts, my responses to his cousin's religious commentary, the screenshots I've been taking. How bad is violation of a restraining order? In Illinois? Up to a year in county jail and $10,000 in fines. Per incident. Emma sits up in bed, instantly alert despite being half asleep 30 seconds ago. She mouths, what's happening, but I wave her off. Mr. Weinstein, I didn't know about any restraining order. No one served me. That's why we're meeting at 9 instead of 11. Judge Morrison, he stops abruptly. Judge Morrison? As in Margaret Morrison from Morrison and Associates? Her husband, actually. Judge David Morrison handles domestic relations court in Cook County. Marcus's voice grows even more serious. Ms. Chen, the coincidences in your case are becoming legally problematic. Rachel's former boss Margaret Morrison, whose husband is now overseeing Rachel's restraining order against you, just won the Hartwell contract that you lost. It's starting to look like a coordinated effort. I grab Emma's hotel notepad and start scribbling names. Margaret Morrison, Rachel's ex-boss. David Morrison, judge. Jennifer Walsh, Rachel's replacement. Hartwell Industries, my lost client. Are you saying this is some kind of conspiracy? I'm saying the appearance of impropriety could work in our favor if we handle it correctly. Papers shuffle again. But first, we need to address the immediate criminal concerns. The Chicago PD wants to interview you about identity theft charges, and the insurance fraud investigation has been expedited. Expedited by who? Jake Brennan filed a statement claiming you've made previous threats about making him pay for relationship issues. He's provided text messages going back 6 weeks where you argued about money, his time management, and what he calls controlling behavior. My hand tightens around the phone. Those arguments, about Jake never paying for dinners, about him disappearing Wednesday afternoons, about him being secretive with his phone. He's making me sound like some kind of stalker. Ms. Chen, I need you to listen carefully. Do not contact Jake Brennan. Do not contact Rachel Martinez. Do not post anything else on social media. Do not respond to reporters, bloggers, or anyone else who reaches out. Marcus's tone suggests he's dealt with clients who've ignored this advice before. Your parents are driving down from Wisconsin? They should be here by 8:30. Good. Bring them to my office. We're going to need character witnesses, and I want to prepare them for what's coming. He pauses. Ms. Chen, one more thing. The Reddit thread about your situation has been picked up by several news outlets. BuzzFeed published an article this morning called "This Woman's Revenge Plot Backfired So Hard She Might Go to Prison." Emma grabs her laptop and starts typing frantically. Within seconds, her face goes white. How many people have read it? I ask, though I'm not sure I want to know. The article has been shared 47,000 times since midnight. Your name, your workplace, and your apartment building are all mentioned specifically. Marcus sighs. Ms. Chen, you're about to become very famous for all the wrong reasons. After I hang up, Emma shows me her laptop screen. The BuzzFeed article includes photos of my apartment building, screenshots of Jake's Facebook posts, and what appears to be a professional headshot of me from my company's website. But it's the comments section that makes my hands shake. 2,847 responses ranging from "Queen of Petty Revenge" to "This psycho belongs in jail" to "Someone should check on her mental health." Sarah, Emma says quietly, we need to get you out of Chicago today. My phone buzzes with a text from my manager Richardson. Sarah, don't come in Monday. We're placing you on administrative leave pending resolution of your legal issues. HR will be in touch about next steps. I've lost my job, my home, and possibly my freedom, all because I couldn't walk away from 15 minutes of perfectly orchestrated revenge. And according to my lawyer, the worst is yet to come. The knock on Emma's hotel room door comes at exactly 7:23 a.m., too early to be housekeeping, too precise to be accidental. Through the peephole, I see a woman in a navy blazer holding a badge and looking like she's done this particular dance 1,000 times before. Detective Rodriguez, Chicago PD, she says when I crack the door open. We spoke yesterday about scheduling an interview. Emma appears behind me in her Northwestern t-shirt, hair sticking up at odd angles. Sarah, don't say anything without your lawyer. Ms. Chen, I'm not here to arrest you. I just need to clarify a few details about the complaint we received. Detective Rodriguez's smile is professional but not unkind. May I come in? My phone buzzes with a text from my dad, running late. Traffic accident on I-94. We'll be there by 9:15. Perfect timing, as usual. Detective, my lawyer specifically said. I understand, and I respect that. But there's something you should know about the complainants in this case. Rodriguez steps into the doorway but doesn't enter the room. Jake Brennan and Rachel Martinez filed separate reports yesterday, but their stories don't match. Emma and I exchange glances. What do you mean? Mr. Brennan claims you've been harassing him for weeks through social media and text messages. Says you threatened to ruin his life if he broke up with you. Rodriguez pulls out a small notebook. Ms. Martinez claims you hacked into her work email and deliberately sabotaged her employment out of jealousy over your obsession with her friendship. That's insane. I caught them having sex in my apartment. That's what makes this interesting, Ms. Chen. Because Mr. Brennan's statement makes no mention of Ms. Martinez being present during the alleged harassment. And Ms. Martinez's statement doesn't mention Mr. Brennan being involved in any romantic relationship with her. I stare at Rodriguez. They're lying about being together? They're lying about something. Either they coordinated these false reports to frame you for crimes you didn't commit, or they're lying to each other about the nature of their relationship. Rodriguez closes her notebook. Either way, it undermines their credibility significantly. My phone rings, Marcus Weinstein. I have to take this. Ms. Chen, Rodriguez says as I answer, I'd still like that interview. But maybe your lawyer should be present when we discuss why two people would file contradictory police reports about the same incident. Sarah? Marcus's voice comes through the speaker. Where are you right now? At Emma's hotel. Detective Rodriguez is here wanting to interview me. Put me on speaker. Detective, this is Marcus Weinstein, Ms. Chen's attorney. What's the nature of this interview? Rodriguez looks slightly amused. Mr. Weinstein, I was just explaining to your client that the complainants in this case appear to have filed inconsistent statements. Mr. Brennan claims Ms. Chen is a spurned girlfriend who's been stalking him. Ms. Martinez claims Ms. Chen is a jealous friend who sabotaged her career. But they're not claiming they were together when the alleged harassment occurred? That's correct. In fact, both statements specifically deny any romantic relationship between Mr. Brennan and Ms. Martinez. Rodriguez flips through her notebook. Mr. Brennan describes Ms. Martinez as just a mutual friend and Ms. Martinez refers to Mr. Brennan as Sarah's boyfriend, nothing more. Marcus's voice sharpens. Detective, if my client has evidence that contradicts these statements. The photographs she posted suggest a very different relationship than what they're claiming under oath. Rodriguez looks directly at me. Ms. Chen, filing a false police report is a felony in Illinois. If you can prove these two coordinated false statements to frame you, they're each looking at 1 to 3 years in prison. Emma sits down hard on the hotel bed. Holy shit. They're trying to throw each other under the bus. My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. This is Jake. Rachel doesn't know I'm contacting you. We need to talk. Meet me at Millennium Park in an hour. Come alone. I show the text to Rodriguez and Marcus via speakerphone. Absolutely not, Marcus says immediately. Sarah, do not meet with him. Actually, Rodriguez says thoughtfully, maybe she should. With proper supervision, of course. Detective, that's Mr. Weinstein, if Mr. Brennan is willing to contradict his sworn statement to police, I'd very much like to hear what he has to say. Especially if he's doing it without Ms. Martinez's knowledge. Rodriguez looks at me. Ms. Chen, would you be willing to wear a recording device? The hotel room falls silent except for the sound of planes taking off outside the window. You want me to record Jake admitting he lied to the police? I want to find out why two people would file contradictory false reports about the same incident, then try to meet secretly with their alleged victim. Rodriguez checks her watch. Your call, Ms. Chen. But this might be your best chance to clear your name before this gets any worse. My parents are driving through Wisconsin traffic to save me from criminal charges. My lawyer is calculating felony prison sentences. And somewhere in Chicago, Jake is panicking enough to risk violating his own restraining order allegations. Detective Rodriguez, I say, surprising myself with how steady my voice sounds, let's go catch some liars. The recording device is smaller than I expected, just a thin wire taped under my shirt with a transmitter the size of a matchbox clipped to my bra. Detective Rodriguez adjusts it one final time in the back of her unmarked car, parked 3 blocks from Millennium Park. Remember, let him talk, she says, checking the audio levels on her receiver. Don't ask leading questions, don't accuse him of lying. Just listen and respond naturally. Marcus sits in the passenger seat, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. Sarah, you can change your mind. We don't have to do this. But I'm already opening the car door. After 18 hours of feeling like a victim of my own revenge plot, the chance to take back some control is too tempting to pass up. Jake is waiting by the bean sculpture, pacing in small circles and checking his phone every few seconds. He's wearing the same jeans from yesterday but a different shirt, probably borrowed from a friend, since his apartment is across town and he's clearly been sleeping somewhere else. Sarah. He spots me walking across the park and jogs over, his face a mixture of relief and desperation. Thank God you came. You said we needed to talk. We need to fix this before it gets completely out of hand. Jake runs his hands through his hair, that nervous gesture that used to be endearing and now just looks pathetic. Rachel's lawyer is telling her to press charges for everything. Identity theft, defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress. She wants to sue you for her lost job, her moving expenses, everything. And what do you want, Jake? I want to go back to Tuesday and make different choices. He stops pacing and looks directly at me for the first time. Sarah, I never meant for any of this to happen. Rachel and I, we were just, it wasn't supposed to be serious. The wire under my shirt feels warm against my skin. How long has it been going on? Since August. After your housewarming party, she texted me that night saying she thought you seemed stressed about money, about us moving in together eventually. She was worried about you. Jake's voice gets faster, like he's trying to get through a prepared speech. We started meeting for coffee to talk about how to help you, and then you started fucking in my bed. It wasn't like that. We never planned it. It just happened a few times, and then we realized we had real feelings for each other, but we didn't know how to tell you without destroying everything. A jogger passes us, earbuds in, completely oblivious to the confession happening 20 feet away. I wonder what Detective Rodriguez is thinking, listening to this from 3 blocks away. Jake, did you lie in your police report? His face goes pale. What police report? The one where you said I've been stalking and harassing you for weeks. Where you said Rachel is just a mutual friend and you've never had a romantic relationship with her. Jake's mouth opens and closes like a fish. Sarah, I didn't. I mean, my lawyer said I should focus on your behavior, not on other details. So you did lie. I didn't lie exactly. I just emphasized certain facts over others. He grabs my arm, and I can feel the desperation in his grip. Look, Rachel doesn't know I'm here. Her lawyer told her to have no contact with you whatsoever. But I know you, Sarah. You're not a criminal. You're just hurt and angry, and you made some bad choices. Unlike you, who made excellent choices. I made terrible choices. I know that. But posting those photos, sending that email to Rachel's boss, making my parents think I'm some kind of... He trails off. Some kind of what, Jake? Some kind of person who cheats on the woman he loves with her best friend. The words come out broken, and for a moment he looks like the man I fell in love with 3 years ago. My mom called this morning crying. She said the ladies at church are praying for my soul. My phone buzzes in my pocket, probably Rodriguez checking if I'm okay. What exactly do you want from me? I want you to take down the posts. Delete everything. Let Rachel and me handle our own consequences privately. Jake's grip on my arm tightens. In exchange, I'll change my statement to the police. I'll tell them I exaggerated about the harassment, that we just had normal relationship problems. And Rachel? Rachel. Jake looks around the park like he's checking for surveillance. Rachel doesn't have to know about any of this. Her lawyer thinks she has a strong case against you. If that case just quietly goes away because the evidence disappears, she'll probably assume her legal strategy worked. I stare at him. You want me to let Rachel think she successfully destroyed my life, while you secretly undermine her police report? I want everyone to be able to move on. Jake's voice cracks. Sarah, I still love you. What Rachel and I have, it's not what you and I had. It's just physical, and guilt, and this weird situation we created. You love me, but you've been screwing my best friend for 3 months. I love who you were before all this happened. Before the revenge posts and the lawyer and the police reports. Jake drops his hand from my arm. I love a Sarah who used to make me coffee in the morning and laugh at my stupid jokes and talk about our future together. The wire under my shirt feels like it's burning now. In my earpiece, so small Jake can't see it, I hear Detective Rodriguez's voice. Perfect. Keep him talking. Jake, I say carefully, if I delete the posts and drop everything, what happens to Rachel? What do you mean? I mean, are you going to keep seeing her? Are you going to tell her you love me and this was all just physical? Jake stares at his shoes. I haven't figured that part out yet. So you want me to destroy the evidence of your affair, lie to the police about your harassment claims, and let you figure out which woman you actually want to be with? Sarah, please. I'm trying to find a solution where everyone wins. Everyone except me. You get your life back. Your job, your apartment once it's repaired, your reputation. Jake looks up at me with those same green eyes that convinced me to trust him with my heart. All you have to do is delete some Facebook posts. Behind him, I can see Detective Rodriguez approaching through the park, still too far away for Jake to notice. And if I say no? Jake's expression hardens. Then Rachel's lawyer files formal charges tomorrow morning, and you find out what a real legal battle looks like. Detective Rodriguez is close enough now that Jake finally notices her approaching. His face goes white as she flashes her badge. Mr. Brennan, I'm Detective Rodriguez. We need to discuss some inconsistencies in your statement. Jake's mouth opens and closes wordlessly as Rodriguez gestures toward her unmarked car. Ms. Chen has been cooperating with our investigation into false police reports. You've been recorded for the past 12 minutes. Recorded? Jake's voice cracks. Sarah, what did you? I caught you offering to commit perjury in exchange for me destroying evidence, I say, pulling the wire from under my shirt. Also admitting that you lied in your original police report about Rachel being just a mutual friend. Marcus appears beside Rodriguez, holding his phone. Mr. Brennan, I'm Sarah's attorney. Based on what we just heard, my client will be filing a counter-complaint for filing false police reports, conspiracy to commit fraud, and malicious prosecution. Jake stares between all of us, finally understanding he's walked into a trap. You can't use that recording. I didn't consent. Illinois is a one-party consent state, Rodriguez says. Ms. Chen was legally entitled to record your conversation. Especially when you were attempting to suborn perjury. My phone buzzes with a text from Emma. Sarah, Rachel's Instagram story says she's at O'Hare buying a plane ticket to Portland. Says she needs to get away from toxic people and start fresh somewhere healthy. I show the text to Rodriguez, who raises an eyebrow. Interesting timing. Mr. Brennan, where's Ms. Martinez right now? I don't know. She said she was meeting with her lawyer this morning. Her lawyer, or the airport ticket counter? Rodriguez pulls out her phone. Because fleeing the state while criminal charges are pending is generally not advisable. Marcus checks his watch. Detective, what's the timeline for filing charges against Mr. Brennan and Ms. Martinez? Based on this recording? I can have warrants ready by end of business today. Rodriguez looks at Jake, who seems to be shrinking into himself. Filing false police reports, conspiracy to commit perjury, and if Ms. Martinez really is fleeing to avoid prosecution, we'll add flight to avoid arraignment. Jake pulls out his phone with shaking hands. I need to call Rachel. She doesn't understand what she's doing. Mr. Brennan, Marcus interjects, I'd strongly advise you to call a lawyer instead. Based on what you just admitted, you're looking at potential felony charges. My phone rings, my dad. Sarah, we're at the lawyer's office. Where are you? Millennium Park with Detective Rodriguez. Dad, I think this is almost over. Jake tries one more time. Sarah, please. If you press charges, this ruins both our lives forever. Can't we just call it even? You got your revenge. I learned my lesson. Jake. I look at him, really look at him, for what I know will be the last time. 15 minutes. That's how long it took me to discover 3 months of lies and decide to blow up our entire relationship. You want to know what I learned? He nods desperately. I learned that the person I loved never actually existed. The real Jake leaves tea kettles on stovetops, fucks his girlfriend's best friend, lies to police, and tries to manipulate his way out of consequences. I hand the recording device back to Rodriguez. The Sarah who would have protected you from those consequences? She doesn't exist anymore either. Detective Rodriguez cuffs Jake while reading him his rights. As they walk toward her car, my phone buzzes with a final text from Rachel's number. Sarah, I'm sorry. For everything. I hope you find happiness. But the text is followed immediately by a news alert. Rachel Martinez, 26, arrested at O'Hare Airport on charges of filing false police reports and conspiracy to commit perjury. I guess she didn't make it to Portland after all. The 15 minutes that changed everything weren't the ones I spent in my apartment yesterday. They were these 15 minutes, when I finally stopped running from the consequences of my choices and started making better ones. My phone buzzes with a text from Jennifer Walsh. Sarah, given recent developments, Morrison and Associates would like to discuss a senior consultant position. When can we meet? I delete the text without responding and call my parents instead. It's time to go home.